Okay. Chinelo,
Yes.
thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So you're a bonds and um, cosmetic surgery nurse. Correct me. You're a bonds and a plastic surgery nurse.
Yes.
Yes. So we don't have many of those. So walk us through what it means. Who is a bonds and a plastic surgery nurse?
Okay, bones and plastic surgery nurse is a nurse that is actually in charge of the skin, anything concerning the skin. You know, the skin is an organ,
Mm-hmm.
the largest organ in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So, bones is one aspect, plastic is another aspect. Bones happens on the skin. So, for be a plastic nurse or a plastic doctor, you are the one that is going to work on the skin from when the bones occurred till when it heals. After healing,
Hmm.
you still maintain to ensure that there is not much scarring on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to that, in cases of burns, there are degrees and burns. So most people don't know that every burns that happens, because everybody has different skin type.
Mm-hmm.
Some have normal skin, oily skin, so it doesn't prevent the burns from occurring. So any skin that the burn happens, that touches, whether it's first degree is just the outer layer, just normally on the skin, the first one you're seeing. Then second degree burns is the one that is going to involve a little under like the muscles and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third degree can go as deep as the bone.
Wow.
So those burns, this is a wound. Wound has occurred. Once there's a discontinuity of anything on the skin, wound has occurred. Talk more of burns on any other thing. So now, I as a burn specialist, burns and plastic, what made me to think about it is I don't like anything fire.
Okay. So the question now will be, do you also handle bonds from acid, solutions, or just bonds from dry flame? So how do you manage, how do you handle the two? Do you handle it the same?
Actually, no, they're not the same. Burns from acid depend on the chemical. There are some burns that happen from bases. That's acid burns is deeper. Acid burns is deeper like second, third degree. So, but from the surface, on seeing the patient, you see the mask. Because when the acid occurs, when the acid is poured, whether the face, it depends on the angle, the area that is affected, you see it as a mask. Some people look at it and say, the wound is going. And you that is a specialist knows that you are going, what you are going to do is more than what the person is seeing. And first off, when such thing happens, I would like to say something. You pour water. Some people go extra mile. They will even start frying egg on the skin. Like some people say, use egg, use this, use that. So some of these agents that people introduce on the skin can make it deeper. So now, if the person comes to the hospital as acid burns, you start your giving IV line, depend on the area, you give water and all that. But what we are waiting for is I use Igbo language. I say like, if you're an Igbo, you know what it means that you been elu. Okay, the elu. So what you do as much as possible is to make the wound that you saw, the area that is affected, let it get soggy so that you see what is happening underneath. That means you are doing palliative care for the person. You are doing your medication, your encouragement. Sometimes it becomes like a mask if it's on the face. It can be as bad as going deep down into the eyes.
Okay, so how do you handle antimicrobial resistance and infections?
Yes. Some patients come in with, as I said, once that thing happens, whether it's burns, whether by acid, or they come in with different things on the skin. Some, as I said, fried egg. Some will add as far as using urine. Some tell you engine oil. Everybody come different. So, and some will start looking for different antibiotics. I've used ampiclox in my time. I use fried. You see different doctors on the scene. So now they start having resistance. Sometimes you give them some particular drugs, and you know from when the person entered, whether you're off your ward or unit, you expect some things as they are looking at the wound. Whether the wound is weeping, whether the wound is smiling, that's another angle I can't. Is big. So, and some drugs that you know that you're supposed to, but you call the med lab science. Me, I go for I don't do blind this thing. I call my med lab scientists. They come and take some blood. Yeah. They will now know what the patient has been taking before. Some patients has been self-medicating. So there are some drugs that their body cannot accept. So now, when you check the lab tests and you see the results, it will now give you an idea what to place the patient on. Aside the whatever you're going to apply on the skin, right, is going to go a long way to help.
Right. So very quickly, what would be the first aid treatment for someone who just experienced, burning, either with acid or with, dry heat?
First aid. First aid is, is initial treatment. It's not actually the permanent stuff. Yes. So if I happen to see, like I normally tell people, first thing you do is water. Water doesn't have an enemy. Water is just water. For water to dilute, if it's acid, dilute. Even if it's fire, dilute, because all the pain thresholds are open. All the pain connections are open. So water will dilute first. Then, if you are not sure, some people go to electrical. Electrical burns also happen. I've noticed a patient that he was trying to attend to electrical NEPA something, and they brought lights, and he was electrocuted. So, but people that are around him knew what to do. They had to off the light. And now, if you look at him, then he didn't have any problem. So you had to now put water, not giving him water. If you can't do anything, just ensure that you yourself that is trying to do the first aid for the person, that you are safe from the scene. Then pour water, then consult. You can take the patient to the hospital. From there, I believe, not actually only me, I believe that from there, care will be given to the person. But if it's me, there's so many things I can do aside water. Yeah. But talking about it now, I don't know how long it's going to be because it's fast.
Right. So finally, what are 2 words you use to describe Nelo products? Because I know you're also an entrepreneur. So 2 words very quickly to describe Nelo products.
Okay, Nelo product was birthed just call it last year. Something happened, but I had a passion. I don't like seeing scar. I don't like seeing like when I was growing up, I was called pimple paradise because I had pimple on my face. You can hardly see an area that doesn't have pimple. So incidentally, I now became a bones and plastic surgery nurse. I had the passion to produce home care items, but what I want to talk about is my skin care.
Yeah.
Some patients have come after this, when you discharge them, as I said, from admission to discharge, that's what you plan. So the patients, you see, some of them have scar. So how do you reduce the scar? So Nelo products helps people to reinvent themselves. That's how the scar is minimized. Some clear. Even people that really have burns and maybe pimples and other ailments, whatever wound care, the Nelo product helps them to maintain their skin, their tugo, and be okay with themselves. That's they reinvent themselves. Sometimes some people don't even know that there's some beauty in them. So using that product actually has helped a lot of people. There's so many reviews about it, and I'm so happy. We are still coming up.
Definitely.
We'll still go on.
Well, congratulations
so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wish you all the best. God bless you.
Thank you. You too.